Welcome back to another episode of Sip and Talk with Miss Londa. And let's welcome my co-host Boom in the house with Podcast Lit. All right. So
You
we got three topics that we're going to be discussing this evening. We're going to get into the whole situation with Monique and her son, Shalon. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I have a couple of other videos that I will also like to show. Once I show those videos. So give me a second here.
and look at you, your camera streamish and you just out here just doing take this serious. Don't play with Miss London, y'all, man. She's serious about this, man. Every year I see you upgrade. Shout out to you, man.
Thank you.
How you been though?
Pretty good. Let me do share, present.
Response to my mother and not her husband, but yet he still had the most to say, which isn't uncommon. I also find it unfortunate that my mother does not seem to speak on her own. The only two worlds that I know where daddy is used is for children speaking with their fathers and women acknowledging their pimps. Her husband starts off by literally doing the very thing that I said that they would do, which honestly kind of made me feel as though their response was ironic because they validate my original video. Either A, she has some newfound moment of clarity, or B, she retreats back to daddy. In her retreat back to him, though, he does not acknowledge what I did say, but instead begins to create a new narrative of things that I did not say, which negates the effects of a response video. The two of you essentially created a new video rather than actually respond to what was actually said. You also brought up my father. My father, though, is not doing interviews talking about me. In quick regards to the three sons comment, under the context in which your husband was speaking, by your rationale, Ma, he should have easily had no problem saying four sons, especially since you say he knew me before I knew me. The two of you can sometimes come off as seekers of weak levels of empathy from others while at the same time sidestepping any accountability that one may need to take. To attempt to address what I said to another man while also trying to make your wife victim number one has nothing to do with you. My father did not need you to speak for him. You're her daddy, not his. My mother has been speaking on our relationship for years. So to imply that only one side of a story was told when there are several articles and interviews throughout the internet discussing my strained relationship with her, filled with quotes from your wife speaking directly about me while also providing vague context and downplaying the impact of an uninterested mother. I am 33 years old and have had ample opportunity to go to the media and tell some BS story for a BS amount of money, but instead I am on TikTok expressing my feelings for free. If the two of them were paying attention, I literally explained in my first video why I am responding using TikTok. And I should not have to repeat myself. My mother also states there are some people that are saying, oh, you should be ashamed of your mothering skills. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is what I say. Let's let it play out. Because the same ones that were saying, oh, I was crazy, I was deranged, we watched it play out. So just like with my son, we're going to watch this play out. First of all, who the hell is we if it ain't you and I reconciling our relationship? Second of all, it's power in a word. Nobody is playing, but I can understand why you would use that word specifically. As you stated in the Club Shay Shay interview, you had the mentality of a 15-year-old child. You required a man to raise you, and you were acting like a little girl. These are your words. It doesn't matter what context I have them in. This is how you thought of yourself as a grown adult who was someone's mother. Last time I checked, Monique fans, a 15-year-old grown adult who acts like a child but is in search of their daddy, they don't typically make efficient parents. But hey, I could be wrong. On a more serious note, to sit there and allow your daddy to address my mental health in a weak attempt to pass my response off as a moment is disturbing and insulting to those of us who do have mental health issues. The way I presented myself was no different than my mother and her daddy presented themselves when addressing D.L. Hughley. And her precious sweet babies ate it up. DL is wrong because he's so loud. Mo and Daddy are right because they're so calm. But I, for some reason, don't get the same energy. To simply try to call me crazy is dismissive and cowardice. Attacking somebody's mental status is a clear sign that you have zero to stand on. Furthermore, what kind of person still has a text message from their wife's son that is over 2 years old, still in their phone, saved just for the purpose of re-showing it to him? What I specifically remember about that message is that at the end of it, you said something along the lines of, if you don't respond, I understand. I could care less about what your message was about, but for you to say in the message, if you don't respond, I understand. Why was it then that when you and I did speak, after that message was sent, the first question out of your mouth is, hey man, how come you didn't respond to my text message? I found that to be very unique, but I did not need an explanation on how to speak to women or how to listen to women. That was not what that situation was about. My mother showed me how conceited she is in that situation that you were referring to. For a woman to villainize the actions of her son for being a man and a father to his new family simply because she had not heard from him in 2 days, as though her phone was broken and she could not check on me. Because last time I checked, I was a new parent. I didn't get a new house. I didn't go on vacation. I didn't just get a new game system. I had a baby. And in those 2 days that you did not hear from me, I was handling my business as a man and a father. But I'll assume your phone and the phones of those around you were all broken, which I wanted to believe was the reason why you did not respond to a message from your son expressing his concern over some bumps that your grandchild had on her back. You would later make it your business to tell me that you got the message and chose not to respond because her other grandmother is a nurse. Damn the fact that she is also your blood. And shout out to Nana. My baby girl loves her some Nana. The statement about money and then stating, don't let nobody introduce me to you, is not a competent statement to make because it wasn't a complete sentence, nor did the two things correlate with each other. And when did you have the time to introduce yourself to a son that you weren't interested in and didn't do the best job you could do? I'm starting to think that you're not hearing yourself. To address money, you gave me $10,000 for a down payment on a car. Yes, thank you again. Thank you. My girlfriend and I were already prepared to put our money together and get a car. You and your husband called us one day and stated that y'all were going to give us $5,000 for a down payment. We said, okay. You then called us back a day or two later and stated that you would be giving us $10,000 for a down payment on the car. You and him made the conscious choice to give us that money. We did not ask you for anything, but this is an example of a rich person doing something for you. And because, an example of a rich person doing something for you because they want to do it for you, but because it doesn't have the desired effect that they want it to have, you are inconsiderate and ungrateful. But let's take it a step further. I eventually would uncover that my mother had left me a UTMA worth $45,000. You never brought that account to my attention. You claim it was because you forgot that you even set it up in the first place, which validates my original point. Who forgets that they invested $45,000 into a child that at that time is the only child? When I was homeless and I called you to help me figure out how to access the account, you said, Shalon, I don't even know what you're talking about. And if I did, why do you think I would help you? After finding out from the Georgia Department of Revenue that they had been sending me mail to 3 separate Georgia addresses, all of which I lived at with you at some point or another. For the life of me, I can't grasp how those letters managed to slip by so many people at 3 different locations. I did, however, eventually get access to the money and the brokerage account that you had set up for me with Morgan Stanley. To be fair, what you put together for me was amazing, especially had I let it sit for a year or two, which made it bittersweet that you wouldn't have wanted to help or even educate me on how to manage what I had. My blowing through that money is all on me, and I have to take my accountability for that, and it's a lesson learned. Sydney stated that the last time that him and I spoke, I wanted to call him Dad. The actual truth is that I wanted to call him Pop. Calling you Uncle Sydney, but my mother calls you Daddy and the boys call you Daddy. It was getting a little awkward. And yes, for a very short time, I did feel that way about you. But the more things change, the more they stay the same. Oh, Black Jesus.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right here. So, do you want to share your thoughts before I go to the rebuttal, or should I just go to the rebuttal?
Yeah, go ahead. You can go to the rebuttal. We can get both sides of the story before I kind of think I know both sides, though, but yeah, rebuttal cool.
test of time. I forgot to have my phone to read the last text message that I gave to you, Shalon, where I told you about the understanding of how you are speaking to a woman and how you as a man and how you perceive things may be completely different from how your wife, how your mother, how your sister, how your daughter will look at things. And when you learn how to communicate a little bit better, then things will happen a little bit better. But what will happen is truth has a way of standing the test of time. I forgot to have my phone to read the last text message that I gave to you, Shalon, where I told you about the understanding of how you are speaking to a woman and how you as a man and how you perceive things may be completely different from how your wife, how your mother, how your sister, how your daughter will look at things. And when you learn how to communicate a little bit better, then things will happen a little bit better. But what will happen is truth has a way of standing the test of time. I forgot to have my phone to read the last text message that I gave to you, Shalon, where I told you about the understanding of how you are speaking to a woman and how you as a man and how you perceive things may be completely different from how your wife, how your mother, how your sister, how your daughter will look at things. And when you learn how to communicate a little bit better, then things will happen a little bit better. But what will happen is truth has a way of standing the test of time. I forgot to have my phone to read the last text message that I gave to you, Shalon, where I told you about the understanding of how you are speaking to a woman and how you as a man and how you perceive things may be completely different from how your wife, how your mother, how your sister, how your daughter will look at things. And when you learn how to communicate a little bit better, then things will happen a little bit better. But what will happen is truth has a way of standing the test of time. I forgot to have my phone to read the last text message that I gave to you, Shalon, where I told you about the understanding of how you are speaking to a woman and how you as a man and how you perceive things may be completely different from how your wife, how your mother, how your sister, how your daughter will look at things. And when you learn how to communicate a little bit better, then things will happen a little bit better. But what will happen is truth has a way of standing the test of time. I forgot to have my phone to read the last text message that I gave to you, Shalon, where I told you about the understanding of how you are speaking to a woman and how you as a man and how you perceive things may be completely different from how your wife, how your mother, how your sister, how your daughter will look at things. And when you learn how to communicate a little bit better, then things will happen a little bit better. But what will happen is truth has a way of standing the test of time. I forgot to have my phone to read the last text message that I gave to you, Shalon, where I told you about the understanding of how you are.
It sounded like he was just repeating the same thing.
It definitely sounded like he said it again, but I pretty much seen it, and I don't know if anybody else seen it, but they can go back and watch it, I guess. But Honestly, I just felt like both sides on some bullshit. Personally, man, that's just pretty much my feelings on it. I do want to know your feelings on it before I go in, because I do, but I just feel like both sides on some bullshit.
Um, so with the son, I was a little confused. I don't know if it's like I don't know, a cry for attention. I don't really know how to feel, but I can say that the I agree with the father thing. You know what I'm saying? I get where he's coming from with that. I can agree with him on that.
Well, with her
Um,
calling him daddy.
well, when he said that he asked to call him daddy, it wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to call him. He said pop. Really, it's kind of confusing that
And that ain't his dad though.
you want but what I'm saying though is you want him to refer to him as uncle, but you're sleeping with him. To me, that's backwards, and I never
Yeah.
understood why women did that. Like you sleeping with this man, but you're introducing him to your kids as uncle. To me, that's weird.
Well, I guess it's because they ain't trying to be like or they. I guess that would be the way they did sneaky leak, Miss Cia. The way they did the sneaky leak thing. I guess it was the uncle, so that way kids didn't say, "Well, mommy, that's just uncle." You know what I'm saying? That way she got this boyfriend, that boyfriend, that boyfriend. I guess it was a cover up, right?
They're
Um,
married though. They're married though. Why do you want him to refer to him as uncle? That's what I'm saying. Even if he just call him by his name.
um, definitely confusing to him. I'm looking at the fact that okay, so she was trying to be a star while he was a child, so she left him with the family. A lot of people was doing that back in the day when they was trying to make something, right? And then, I mean, I guess we all give a lot of black women the stigmatism of they ain't had no dad, so they be looking for a dad. Maybe she used that. Um, I get where he coming from as far as her not being there and him wanting her to be there. But I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It's some niggas mamas out here who don't do shit for them. So I get the whole mental health thing. Um, and I fully understand where he coming from because I've been there with my mom before where I'm just like, shit, like, what the fuck? Like, where are you at? Like, and there was times that my mom said some crazy shit to me that made me be like, damn, that's how you feel, but at the same time, I still gotta be thankful for life, right? You know what I'm saying? I get a chance to just go make something of myself. Fuck it, just do what you do. And I think that a lot of us we try and play victim on because I've done it myself, My mom wasn't there. I ain't had nobody. My dad did, my mom and that. But at the end of the day, man, nigga, I'm 37, and from what I'm saying, he 34. And I get the mental health thing, but it comes a time where you gotta look yourself in the mirror and just be like, bro, you gotta make this shit happen, right? And then also shit. My mom ain't never gave me 10 bands on the car. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like,
Right.
I mean,
To him, because he said more than once that it wasn't about the money. He didn't. He said it's not about the money. What he's saying is, it's like when he mentioned he called her. I guess he needed her advice as far as like the bumps on the baby's back. I think he wants those mother moments.
but see, that's the thing, like, and that's the problem with us, right? Because I had to look at my mom. My mom been through some traumatic shit with her mama, right? So before I started understanding what she went through with her mama, I'm just like, no, you supposed to, you supposed to, you know what I'm saying? But then, when you go back and you look at what happened with her mama, and then what happened with her mama, you start seeing some shit was in the family that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, how can I make you be a mama when you ain't had yours? And so you want your mama to hit you up and tell you what to do with some bumps on the back, nigga. She didn't know what to do with the bumps on your back, my nigga. Let's just be logical here, bro. I get it. She should. As a parent, we supposed to be here, right? But how you gonna expect somebody to do something that they never knew how to do in the first place? Now, I don't know how many kids did Monique got. From my understanding, is this her only child?
No, she has kids by the husband too. But okay, I get what you're saying. But if somebody's trying to talk to you and tell you that this is how they're feeling, then why is it that we can't resolve this issue?
I mean, how do they resolve it? Again, these people you got her talking about she trying to figure out who her daddy is and the man, you know what I'm saying? He ain't raised by her, so he don't know what a parent is really supposed to be. He just coming up with what he think it should be since she wasn't there. So it's all confusing, right? So I think that they don't know because this is not us, right? This is not our situation. We talking about somebody's shit, right? And I think that it could possibly be going on in a lot of other households, but because these people are known, everybody want to speak on it, but it really ain't our business. So for them to be having discussions on the internet makes no sense, right? We shouldn't even know about this, you know what I'm saying? Unless somebody needs to vent, somebody needs to be seen, somebody needs to be heard. Why are we talking about this? Because everybody else is giving their opinion, and so now they feel like they got to tell their side. And I'm sure, like dude kept saying, you gotta know how to talk to a woman. We don't know how he be talking to his mama other than this video. He can get on this video and talk to her, talk to us like he the most, nicest dude in the world. And behind when the camera cut off, you got me fucked up, mom. You was never there, bitch.
Well,
you know what I'm
he
saying?
actually, the only reason why he even did it to begin with is because of an interview she did, and I guess he felt like she was with
Shannon. With Shannon.
Yeah, and I guess he felt like she was portraying to be a way that she's not.
So they didn't have this discussion about them before, where they were saying like she wasn't there for her son or something. They never had this discussion. You never heard this before? I thought it was something.
I just heard it just when he just came out, like when he just made the first live video.
I know. I thought it was something about with her and the Parkers. Like it was something going on with the Parkers and him and something crazy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just tripping. I don't know. But yeah, it ain't our business if you ask me, man. But because they put it out there, I'm just looking like, and I get it. He feel like he needs to respond. But I don't know then, because if the husband speaking like he talking crazy to the mama and stuff, and then his response is the way his response is, I don't know, man. It just seems like it's some more to it that we don't know, but obviously we don't because we outside, right? So we only can go off of what they're saying.
Now, what's your thoughts about their rebuttal, though?
I don't know, man. It don't seem like it's a lot of love in parenting nowadays, man. I get it if it's like, disrespectful from the child, if the child is just being disrespectful, but this shit don't come with a book, right? So we don't know how to actually parent. So it's like we do the best. And I think that some of the stuff they were saying, we tried to help you, la, la, la. I mean, you don't get kudo points for helping your children, right? These are your children, right? You don't get kudo points for it. So, I mean, I get it. Y'all did do something for your child, but at the same time, it's like who was it? I want to say it was Master P. I think Master P and Romeo had something going on. I don't know how it ended, but I remember Master P being like, "Bro, I'm not doing this. Like, come home, son. Regardless of what you saying to all of them, just come home." And I think that's how they should have just been on it more than anything else. Like, Master P just kept saying like, "All right, whatever. All right, he said whatever. Yep, he said that. Yep, come home, son. We'll talk about it together." And I think that's how they should have came. I think that them trying to really like explain themselves, it always just still put you in that position where you trying to cover something up because you're trying to explain yourself. Of course, you gave him $10,000 for a car. That's a child, right? You make money. You out here complaining Netflix and giving you millions. So $10,000 on the car shouldn't have been shit. Like, honestly, I don't know if y'all should even run that up. You feel me? But so I don't know.
Do you think that Monique should have been the one to address it versus the husband, though? I mean, like you said, he's not his dad, so.
I mean, that's again. I don't know. How long she been with this man?
I don't know.
Like, you see what I'm saying? So it's like,
I don't think she's been with him since he was a kid. I think they got married in his adult life.
So then there's no dad, no question about me calling you a dad. I'm not about to do that. We shouldn't even have a discussion. That shouldn't even be listen. If your name is Reed and you my mama's husband, I call you Mr. Reed all goddamn day. No lie.
I don't think it was he wanted to call him dad because he wanted a dad. I think it was more of, I don't want to refer to you as my uncle. You're not my uncle. So he said he wanted to call him Pop. I don't think it was, I want you to be my dad type. I don't think that's what it was.
I mean, listen, if he wasn't around, like yes, ma'am, she should have definitely, if he wasn't around, then yes, she should have addressed it. But again, we looking at her mental state, right? She says she's looking for a daddy. You feel me? So of course she gonna let this man speak for her. You feel me? So it's like we could feel like she should have said it, but at the same time, she ain't never even felt like she's supposed to take the lead in the first place. You feel me? So now she needs somebody to talk to her mentally to learn how to take the lead, I guess, in situations. So it's like, do we still blame her for not? All she's been doing is trying to find somebody to lead her. her whole trip.
I
So now she
agree.
finally got this position.
I agree. He wants his mother's love. Why is it so difficult? That's
Yeah.
basically what I was getting out of what he was saying. Like,
But what's she not doing though? She not talking to him. She not checking the bumps
I
on the
guess,
baby.
I mean, okay, when you're grown, yeah, you're grown, but there's things that you still want to go to your mother for. I mean, you still want to have a relationship with your mom. Just because you're buying me a $10,000 car, or you bought a bunch of baby clothes or whatever, it's not. He said more than once, it's not about the money, it's about the time. Basically, what's wrong
That's
with
what I'm
he? What
saying.
he
So
to have time with his mom? He got a grandchild. You don't spend time with your grandchild, like.
okay, that's all crazy. That's all nuts. That's all factual, and I get it. But again, sometimes we have to just be like, well, like you said, he only responded because of something she said. So I guess he defending himself. He ain't never really came out in public and said none of this.
No.
So it's still just, I don't know, man. I even on my end, man, if me and my mom, our relationship is not the greatest, man. Lord knows our relationship is not the greatest. But I just watched my mom and her mom not have the greatest relationship. Even though I was good with her mom, they both didn't have the greatest relationship. And then when my grandmother passes, it hits my mom hard, right? She hurt because she had so much time to mend that, and I think they did at the end, but it just hurt her because they could have did so much more, right? And so whatever me and my mom been through, whatever she did or didn't do, or whatever she is or ain't gonna do, at this point, I'm just like, I can't let us in like that. Feel me? So maybe I didn't do right. Maybe you didn't do right. Whatever. Maybe I need you to be more of a grandmother, but you can't. If you can't, I'm not going to expect it of you. You feel me? And I think that I want my mama's love too. Listen, I want her to cook. You feel me? I want her to come over and make the cakes and shit, man. I want it. You feel me? Don't get it twisted. But for some reason, we can't connect. And that's cool because before I force that connection and both of us just not be cool, I just love you and understand that this is what you're gonna do, and I'm gonna make sure that it don't affect me through my life. So that way I can love you until it's time for you to go. You feel me? Because at this point, we be wanting too much expectations out of people, man. I'll be expecting Miss Londa show to come on Sunday, and then when it don't, now I'm cussing everybody out. But I forget she got a life too. Like, you know what I'm saying? She has shit that, you feel me? I might have missed it, but I'm in your inbox. Why the fuck you ain't put the show up, Miss Londa? Where the show at? You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that you got a whole other issue you got going on. So sometimes we just expect too much out of people, man. I don't know, man. I think we expect too much. He expected too much, personally.
I gotta disagree with that. It's not expected too much of your mother. Now, come on, now. I can't agree with that.
Man, some people don't have their mamas, Londa. Some people ain't never even met their mama. Listen, some people ain't met their mama because she ain't want them from the jump. Some people ain't met their mama because she fucking let them go in the goddamn, whatever. Some people ain't met their mama because she died when she gave birth. Some people don't have their mama right now. You know what I'm saying? But life still goes on. So I don't know. I do want my mama's love. I want my dad's love. But shit, last time I heard he was in the hospital. I want my dad's love. You feel me? But I ain't gonna never get it. But at the same time, though, I don't think I'm gonna get on here and be like, bro, you wasn't here, you wasn't doing this, you didn't do that. I'm just gonna be like, bro, I had a hard life. I ain't have my parents. I'm gonna keep it pushing. It's that simple, man. I don't know. I think we'd be expecting too much. But I'm still listening.
All right, I got this next video I'm gonna play.
Which I paid for. Now, she went to an in-state university, but it still cost me about $40,000. Now, I also bought her a car. I bought her a car straight after high school. That way she could go back and forth to school. I bought her a car. She still lives with me and her mother. She does not have a job. Now, she's set to be married on August the 8th. And for the past 6 months, that's all her mother been talking about doing. Being occupied with, being consumed most of their time. Now, her daddy, he don't contribute to not 1 cent on her. Not her education, not child support, which is partly her mother's fault because, she didn't fight for that. And I guess that's just what the settlement was. And he only around to make promises. I do that for you. I do this for you, and then take off. And then she'd be heartbroken. But she adores her father, right? So Like I said, she said to be married in August. And the wedding venue, I told them they could have it in my home. The wedding venue can hold about 250 people, right? Now I said, hey, I got a list of 20 people that I want to come to the wedding. I'm paying for this at my house. I want these 20 people to come. Do y'all know Saturday, I see one of my friends at the golf course, right? He's supposed to come to the wedding. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna see you at the wedding, right? He said, I only got an announcement. I didn't get an invite. I'm like, nah. I'll let my girlfriend and stepdaughter know to send out the invitations on these few people, and you're supposed to get an invite. He said, I got something, but it was an announcement. So we walked to his car because I want to check, right? And sure enough, it was an announcement. So I went and talked to my girlfriend and said, did you invite those 20 people to the wedding that I told you about? Man, she didn't invite none of them. She said 250 people is a little tight, and I don't think we can get your 20 people in there. Man, I was pissed. And the people that were supposed to come, they pissed as well. Then she's going to say, if any of the people that we already invited don't RSVP, then we'll get some of your people in here. I'm like, what? Man, that's crazy, man. Don't even worry about it, man. I'll just be mad. All right? So now, the crazy part about it is, when I check the invitations, they don't even have my name on them. They have her real daddy and her on the invitation that I paid for. I paid for these invitations. How you got a real daddy on there, her mama on there? Cool. Couple days later, I'm hosting the venue at my house, hosting the wedding family at my house, okay? It's me, stepdaughter, girlfriend, groom, and their parents, right? Trying to help everybody get real acquainted. Then a surprise guest shows up, my stepdaughter's real daddy. And I'm like, you know what? Cool. He probably just coming to the wedding, right? But tell me why my stepdaughter proceeds to stand up and announce that her real daddy is giving her away at the wedding. What? The wedding that I'm paying for, that in my house, the daddy don't do nothing for you, is giving you away? Oh, and they were just so happy and smiling. Oh, yay, great. Inside, I was fuming. Inside, I wanted to cry or punch somebody. Probably wanted to do both, honestly. So I took that time to stand up and give a toast as well. I said, I owe the groom and the bride a deep debt of gratitude because they have opened my eyes tonight. Oh, everybody at the table was just smiling. They have let me know that my position in this family is not what I thought it was. Oh, you should have saw the frowns, man. Now they mad. It done got serious. I let them know I am not the godfather or, the head of the family that I thought I was, the loved one that would be seeked out in times of need. Nah. I realized I'm an ATM. Yeah. So since I have been replaced as host of the wedding, I shall be giving my financial duties to the new host. And I will back out monetarily. Yeah. Yep. Now, after the announcement, a whole lot of snickering was going on around the table, right? A lot of mumbling, but they didn't say anything to me. Nobody addressed me now. Now, later that night, tell me why my girlfriend gonna come to me talking about how I'm ruining so much, how I'm ruining so much for backing out, and how her daughter ain't gonna have her dream wedding, and how her daughter ain't this and that. Okay, well, it's apparent that I'm not family in this family. So the family should take care of it, right? That's my stepdaughter. I mean, it ain't even my stepdaughter, really. It's my girlfriend. I just happen to be around her for the last 10 years. But tell me why the next day, my girlfriend trying to show me how much I'm ruined, right? She takes me to where they planning the wedding, and the wedding planner showed me, all the things they got going down, everything they got set up. I look at the venue. They got some father-daughter dances, right? 3 songs. All of them cater to her real dad, not me. I looked at the food they got. 2 of the dishes got stuff I'm allergic to in it. I just started laughing. Like, they want me to pay for this. His name on it, not mine. His songs, not mine. The food, I can't eat the food. And the 20 people out of 250 that I wanted, they can't even come in my house. Wow. Okay. It's wild, man. So I went on ahead and let her know I will not be there, and neither will my money. Yeah. And they will no longer be at my house either. And you will no longer be at my house or your daughter. Because, yeah, I'm not family. I'm not even important enough to be put up on the brochure. It's crazy, man. Yeah. So I let her know that I'm not paying for it.
Okay. So what do you think? Do you think he was wrong?
So I think he finally got some balls. That's what I think.
Yeah. So I have a couple of different point of views.
Let me hear
So
that.
so basically, I do think that they could have showed him a little bit more respect than the way they went about it. Like maybe that's something that they probably should have, talked to him about. Cause I mean, I do understand it is still her dad at the end of the day. Um, you know how it is. Dad wasn't near, but you still love him or however, you know what I'm saying? But to just throw it in his face like that without him not even seeing it coming, you know what I'm saying? Because I can get it. She probably did want her real dad to walk her down the aisle. I don't see nothing wrong with that. It's just, to me, it was the deliverance.
All right, that's one of them. And I get that. I get the okay. So listen, at the end of the day, I get it, man. Some people step into relationships and they just fall in love and be there for people, and everybody do. Everybody in a relationship, they love each other. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it be like that. Sometimes a motherfucker be getting used, and maybe I just wasn't hearing. But I didn't hear him when he said everybody can get out. I didn't hear him say my kids can stay. I don't even think he said they had kids together, right? And I think he said that's not his stepdaughter because he just was like ATM for 10 years, so he was around for 10 years. He don't have a baby out of the situation, so who knows why? Maybe they wasn't ready. I don't fucking know. But it just sounds like if we've been together for 10 years and I'm finna pay for all this wedding stuff, regardless of I might have to respect that. Even though I'm finna pay for it, your dad can walk you down the aisle. I get that. You feel me? Especially if he's still around. You know what I'm saying? I'm just with your mama now. I get that. But to tell me that my 20 people can't come through 10 years, I'm sure
Yeah,
you know
that
a
was
couple of my
disrespectful. And
so
I think that them putting the dad's name, he paying for it. You know what I'm saying? So why is the dad getting acknowledgement for something
but
he ain't do?
that's cool. And to keep my name off in the food that I don't eat or I'm allergic to and the songs that I don't, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, man. Even if we gonna go that route, like, and my people still showing up, I think that because y'all didn't have the respect to figure out how to fit my people in something that I'm paying for, and I've been around y'all looking out for y'all all these years, my little old people. I think that either it's something else we don't know, or they've been doing this man like this for the 10 years that he was with him.
They
And
had
that's
to.
why
They had to.
I say he finally got some balls. Because
Mhm.
if you've been getting done like this for 10 years and you finally figure it out when they don't put your name on this shit like that mean they ain't had no respect for you for the longest, bro. And you just ain't see it, or you was trying to change them. Because if you ain't got no kids by this woman and you been dealing with this for 10 years, something wrong with you. You feel me? So I get it. He finally stood up. Shout out to him. We gonna clap our hands, dead ass, like no sarcasm or nothing. Like, shout out to him for finally standing up and being like, "Fuck that! I ain't paying for it. Y'all got me fucked up." But it just really sounds to me like the nigga was simping, and he finally grew some balls.
Yeah, because did you hear him in the beginning? He said she was 22. He said he paid for her to go to college. She
Oh
was
yeah,
22 years old. She moved back at home. She living at home. So yeah, I think he's been dealing with this for quite some time. Get to some of these comments. Eric says, "Give it to God, boom. That don't mean that you missed that connection. As a kid, I used to see people with their mom because mine was gone."
shout out to you. I think he going back to the last conversation. Shout out to you. I get it. I get it.
That's wild. I'm not mad at dude for real.
Crystal.
But her dad not doing anything for her. That's true. Let me see. But at the same time, I'm a stepdad and I've been in my son's life for a while now. But every once in a while, they do think about their real dad. And who's to say? Well, I don't know. Like I said, the deliverance to me, I think they could have delivered that a little bit better. But I was gonna say, what if it was like a hard thing? Like if the dad asked to walk her down the aisle and she couldn't tell him no, you know what I'm saying? But again, the deliverance was. I think the deliverance could have been.
And that's the whole major thing about it. Like, I mean, we have to understand, man, the kids, regardless if we step in their lives and they're not ours, it's gonna be a time where they want to know who their fucking family is, regardless if the nigga don't want to be in their life or not. I'm gonna want to know who my cousins is, my aunties is, all them other people that I have a whole nother side of family. I'm gonna want to know. So, as a step parent, I guess we gonna have to acknowledge that somewhere along the line, even if they too young to know it now. Eventually, they gonna want to understand who their other side of the family is, right? Especially if they know you're not their real parent. Um, and with that being said, the whole wedding situation and it being her dad and all that, man, I wouldn't even have made her fight that. Like, I get it. Regardless if the nigga been there or not, man, I ain't gonna take your moment. This is for you. You feel me? You know what's up with me and you. I don't need this spotlight on me. You feel me? But at the same time, if you understand that I'm that type of person for you, you definitely should get, 10, 12 of my people like, look, I understand you wanted 20 pops or step pops or whatever you call me. But at the same time, I got my college friends, my college girlfriends, my aunties, I just, can I fit 12, 13? I can't do the whole 20. I know you paying for it, but we can work it out because this is yours. It's not mine. You feel me? They ain't coming to see me, they come to see you. So I get it. But you got to have a little bit more respect. Like you said, the delivery wasn't there. So that shit lame. And I think it's been going on for a long time.
All right. I got one more video and then I'm going to open up the phone lines.
I love you for them. I've been through hell and back. I done brought home 4 times. I took them back every time. I'll be damned if I take them back this time. So I got one question for you, okay? You ready for the question? You ready? Will you marry me? No, I can't hear you.
Say it.
Will you marry me?
All right. Yes.
No. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, she mine now, baby.
I'll be committed.
Okay. What were your thoughts? What is it, seeing that? What came to mind?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what I'm looking for. You feel me? Like, who are they?
I don't know who they are, but I mean, he just proposed to her, right? She didn't give. She didn't give happy. You know what I'm saying? Like the body language, the eye contact, all of that spoke for itself. You hugging him after he just proposed to you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it, and then whoever, I don't know if those was his people in the background, but the one remark where it says, no matter what you've been through, why did that have to be said? This is supposed to be a happy moment. Why are we thinking about that? So is it that she said yeah, but really didn't want to say yeah? Because maybe there's some bullshit behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying?
So she might have been through something. But it just, her reaction definitely was like, it could have either been, I don't like you like that, or like, I don't know if I'm about to give you my life like that because of what me and you been through. Maybe he could have been abusing her, maybe he'd be a cheater or something like that. You know what I'm saying? She could have, he trying to like, all right, I just want to be with you. You know how people talk, because it ain't just us niggas. You know what I'm saying? Females be on the same shit they be fucking up too, but maybe she just wasn't feeling it right now, and I felt like he felt like that was the only way he can get her back. Again, I be liking to talk about these stories, and this is just my opinion. I really don't know what's going on, so I'm giving my opinion. But it definitely looked like she wasn't into dude, though. I don't think she was into him. Like, I think she just, I don't know.
That's exactly how I was thinking too, Crystal. Like, I'm thinking that it may be some abuse or something, because it was like she held her head down. Like, when a woman is proposed to, I'm quite sure they're overjoyed. I mean, they're like, you know what I'm saying? They putting their hand out there ready to get that ring. She wasn't feeling none of that. She wasn't giving any of that.
She ain't want to stand up and hug him down there.
No, and then somebody was like, "Say yeah," like,
But
shut
then
up.
not only that. I mean, first off, I ain't never asked nobody to be married and stuff, and I don't know what's going on, man. But I think ain't it your left hand? You supposed to put the ring on the finger, the left hand, or am I tripping? It's the right.
I don't even know. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. See, I don't know either, man. I think it's the left. What she say? I think that was to the last one, huh?
She said, but the boyfriend wasn't giving a smooth heads up to being kicked to the curb on all things, even after being there since forever. Bio dad can be treated like a guest until he steps up as the primary parent. Props given for his biological contribution, but for the hard work, persistent and
Hard work.
consistency,
Mm-hmm.
stepdad needs his flowers because that's no easy task.
That's a fact. Let's go back to that real quick. Yeah, I definitely get it. I just think that if we know that he going out of his way to do something that he doesn't have to do, you definitely should, consider his feelings. And it just seems like they wasn't never considered. And I just think like, I don't know, even right now, man, if Miss Londa says she needed 5 bands, and I'm like, shit, I can send you 5 bands to your wedding, but I need to get 2 people in. I'm sure you would get my 2 people on the list. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even though we don't have even a history, you feel me, or whatever. I'm sure you still would do it. So if they got 10 years, like, you just have to be that would should be considered. Like, but whatever. I get it though. I definitely get it with the biological father. That ain't our moments though. You feel me? I just can't take that away from my child, man. Listen, my son is not my biological son, man, but that's my biological son. I don't give a damn, right? But whenever he ready to go look for his side of the family, I'm gonna be right behind him. Like, I ain't about to stop him, and I'm not about to let him go by himself. So whenever he ready, I'm ready too. We gonna do it together. I get it though.
Yeah. All right. Well, if no one wants to call in, we're gonna bring the show to an end. I would like to thank you all for tuning in. You all have a great night.